We were donated a Suzuki Katana 750 S3 basket case and asked if we could return it to the road.
So do I get my kit off? I'd like to see it back on the road.
So we got the engine turning over, got it reinstalled, and eventually got it running.
I did say I got a bit of a surprise for you. And that surprise is here. The second 1983 Suzuki Katana 750.
So the next challenge is to get the bike back on the road as cheaply as humanly possible, repairing and using as many of the original parts as we can. Thanks to you guys liking the video and getting the channel out there, we're also contacted by Nikki and given a donor bike. We got to work stripping down the donor bike and harvesting its parts. My lad Connor had never stripped down multiple cars before and decided he fancied that job. I'm glad he did because some of those screws looked like they'd been welded in. But he persisted and managed to get them completely stripped down.
Let's get the loom ripped off the other bike.
Right, so we've got all wiring changed over from the other one. Unfortunately, there's a couple of terminals that's broken at some quite important parts. One of them, I'll get you in close. Yeah, that's what's happened. That's pulled out, and I think that's the main ignition wire. And there's a couple more wires I've got to change as well, repair. The ones coming from the regulator to the stator, which are there, the different connections. Got the original connectors, which are somewhere, they've fallen down, but yeah, so I've got the original connectors and then someone's crimped these on. This looks like the main wire as well, the main ignition wire, so I'm gonna have to hold this in just to test the headlight, but I'm sure I can snip another piece off of the plug on the other wiring loom and just put one spade on and change the spades around, because if you get a little tiny screwdriver you can poke a screwdriver in and pull the spades out in one piece. So as long as I can do that, I'm laughing. But what I'm going to do is, I'm going to set this to boost, on my Noco Boost. And then we're going to see if the headlight works. I genuinely don't know if this is going to work or not. So, I'm assuming that is the ignition wire, so I'll have to touch this in. And the lights are switched on, hopefully. Yes! Get in. That's good news. I don't know what, there must be a mode for park, because that's just spinning round and round. So I don't know what the deal is there. If there's any Katana experts on who know why that's doing that, then let me know. But that's wicked news, because that means everything on the headlight works. As long as I can get the wiring correct, we're laughing, we've got a working headlight. So that puts us in real good stead now to get this bike up at on road. Ah, happy days, happy days. So I set about repairing the wiring loom using solder joints and shrink wrap, taking care not to damage the factory spade connectors as they're super delicate and hard to remove without breaking. First the ignition wire, then the stator wires. few stubborn seized bolts out with the blow lamp and had a little look at the screen to see if that was savable. Yeah, that shows you that it is polishable. Not polished, polished. Not polished, polished. I got the switchgear on the bench and got it stripped down. Got the multimeter out, gave everything a good test. Pulled my parts washer in the workshop and set it up under the back of the bike, trying to get rid of all the chain lube residue on the swing arm, which was super satisfying. Then we set about de-rusting the side stand and the worst bits of the frame with the wire brush drill tool. A bit of soap and Scotch Brite on the front wheel to get rid of the cauliflowering. And then a bit of polish on the front mudguard we took from the donor bike, which came up really well. Alright, so we need to get these stoppy bits sorted out. So we'll try and free up these pistons. These pistons have been, they've not moved for 30 years, 31 years. So we just need to make sure they're moving nice and free. I'm not bothered about how they look. It's how they perform. We just need these to be freed up. A bit of brake fluid running out of them, which is actually a good thing, and it looks nice and clean. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to drain that out first. Let's get my little, just drain that out. I'm going to put some compressed air down the inlet hole and try and force the pistons out. There's a chance that we might be able to rescue these. Hopefully, these aren't going to fly out, but hopefully they'll move. Ah, they're moving. Well, that one's moved anyway. So that one's coming out. That one isn't so far. Let's try and hold that one back. No, we've only got one wanting to come out. So that one's wanting to move, that one isn't. Squirt a bit of that in. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to use this piston return tool, push them all the way back in. That's them, all the way back in. Alright, let's see if we can get them to push out. I'll put it like that so that maybe you can see. That one's easily moving. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold that one back on its own. Let's return the pad tool. Let's return it. And then what I'm going to do is, I'm going to clamp that down because I want the other one to move and not this one. Like I say, we're not too bothered about how these calipers look. I just want them to work and not leak. That one does not want to shift. That one's in there, like swimwear. I really don't want to have to strip these calipers. Let's try and pull the seal out if we can. That's the outside wiper seal. Not in that bad condition, to be fair. Well, that's moving. Got fluid coming out. Oh! Huh. They're actually not too bad. But it's a good job they came out because they do need a bit of a clean up. See, we're going full Yorkshire. We do not want to have to replace any calipers or seals or pistons or just anything. Hoses. We've got 2 bikes. We should be able to make a good one out of the 2. Just whack that back in. So let's clamp that bad boy in and blast the other one out, if we can. Oh, it's coming out. You can see it. It's stopped. Bit of WD-40. Other penetrating sprays are available until WD-40 sponsor us, which is never going to happen. I'm sure there are people now going, no, that's not how you do it. That's not how it's done. It's dangerous. I don't care. How about that? Oh, here it comes. It's going all the way. Can you see that? She's a coming. She's almost all the way out. There you go, look. Oh, it came out. They are really clean, yeah. Both the pistons are really clean. They're almost like brand new, in fact. They do have a line of residue around them, which is just like kind of a, I don't know, it's just where moisture's been sitting, but it's rubbing straight off. So what we call a Yorkshireman's rebuild. Take it out, clean it, put it back in. Why can I smell toast? Yeah. Right, so they're both out now, just enough to refit these seals, and then I'm happy to use that rear caliper again because it's in really nice condition. Back in position, force calipers back, and I'm happy to just refit that because they're clean. And that's what you call a Yorkshireman's brake caliper rebuild. One down. This one doesn't look as nice. Let's just lather it in WD first before we start. I know WD isn't the best for this job, but it just so happens that's all I have. So, that'll do. Well, that's one coming out. Oh, it came out too far. Again, it's pretty mint. You can see where the brake fluid's discoloured, gone a bit milky coloured. That's just because it's had water in it. Because as you know, brake fluid, hygroscopic, which means it absorbs water through condensation. Eventually, you'll get enough water in it to start causing things like that. And that's probably not this because this is stainless steel. That's probably the other side. There's some kind of contaminant in it. But look how clean that is. They're really nice pistons. I don't know if you can even see inside there. You see how rusty it is? That's just a contaminant in the brake fluid that started to rust inside it. It's not too bad, to be fair. But you can see where the water's been sat right in the bottom of the caliper. Yeah, that's lovely and free. That slid straight back in. Yep, it's coming out. When we stripped the rear brake master cylinder, we didn't catch it on film. It was on time lapse, so we didn't actually get it. But what I did the same thing, tried to get the piston out of the master cylinder. And I got it in the vise, and it shot out. It hit the wall over there. It came back and hit me right in the naughty lolly, which was nice. So yeah, they come out fast. Oh, dear me. He jumped out of my skin. Yeah, we're going to get away with the Yorkshireman's rebuild on all these, I think. Not too bad. Seals look nice. Yes. That's two that's free. This may seem to people like it's a little bit gung-ho refitting these brakes like this. I can understand why. As long as everything's still in good condition, which the pistons are in really good condition, like brand new, and the rubber looks really clean. Nothing's expanded. Nothing's got stupid and swelled up. So it's out of shape. Everything looks fine. So I'm happy to put that back together and fit them up, bleed them. We'll give them a good test, but if they don't leak, there is really no reason to start messing around changing seals. Last one. You know the drill, I'm not going to show it yet. This one might be a little bit different. I don't know if you can see that. There's a lot of corrosion inside there, and that piston will not move out. So I'm not sure if you can see that or not. Hang on, I've got an idea. It's all green, can you see it? So I'm about to spray some WD-40 in it. I know WD-40 doesn't agree the most with the seals, but like I said, at the moment it's all we've got. Nothing else covered. That's what we're holding that back. Just a bit of rust. So I hope the seals are alright, because that has got some corrosion on it. But luckily, it's not in the actual working area. The working area is further down the piston here. That's where the seals are sat. So we might be able to save this piston. Ugh. Yeah, that's ugly. I don't look nice in there at all. Ah. It's actually cleaned up lovely. That's not cleaned up bad at all. Right, so here's the fuel tank. I'm going to try and sort out a fueling system now. There's two petcocks here. They're a vacuum petcock. So obviously one of those pipes is for a vacuum line, and the other one is for the fuel. I don't know if any of these two work, but I know the O-ring seal, or oblate O-ring seal, is broken on that one. Now they're not expensive, I'll probably just end up replacing that, but this one's in one piece. What I'm going to do, I'm going to throw both of these in the sonic cleaner and see how they come out. That's a little bit of paint, I think that was refitted while the paint was still wet somehow on the tank, because this is from this one and this is from my original one. So let's get them thrown in the sonic cleaner and see if we can get it to seal to the tank. Next up was the seat release mechanism. I needed to find the right key for it on a massive bunch and free it up ready to fit. The drill just wasn't enough. Always keeping to strict health and safety rules, I put on my safety squints and got out the big wire wheel. Right, so that took about 20 minutes. Fuel cocks are finished, so we'll dig them out and have a quick look. Not really cleaned up much. Actually, not much difference at all. Can we get the O-ring out in one piece without the breakage? It's doubtful. I'm not really bothered. Robinson's foundry do them for about £1.30 odd. We're on a budget, guys. I'm just going to throw money around willy-nilly. If I could do this in dark, I'd do it. Ah, it's broken. So that's just cost me £1.50 odd. All jokes aside, it would definitely going to happen anyway. So out of the two, this one's definitely the better one. We'll clean this one up. Use a little brass wire brush, and then it will not damage the aluminium. Aluminium. So let's see if we've been paying attention. Can anybody tell me how much money I've spent on this bike getting it going so far? I've only actually bought 3 things for it. So can anybody tell me how much I've spent? Oh, that's a shame. Nothing like cleaning down with an oily rag. Nature's back to black. I don't know if anybody knows, but we also put all our stuff up on Rumble, and we're going to start putting more stuff on Rumble, long form content. So a pretty much unedited version. These would pretty much fly through them and put lots of time lapses and things. But on Rumble, we're going to start putting hour-long, 2-hour-long videos. So if you really want to get nerdy, that's where you'll find them. But follow us on rumble.com. We will leave you a link in the description. Really don't want to use these horrible things. But they're in good condition, I suppose. Look. How many HS is that? That's when you get your indicators on the national health.